Thank you so much, everybody. So I'm not fun and I'm not funny. I am Eeyore right now, and I'm about to rip your tail off. So we're going to allow this to be your spoiler alert. If you would like to leave the room, we are going to talk about neglect and abuse during childhood, and how this type of neglect can impact people in the workforce.
Oh, yeah, tell me to go.
You can go. All right, so there's my thing. So we will be talking about some sensitive issues, so if you'd like to take a step out, you're more than happy to do so. But a lot of people aren't familiar with the term parentification, and what parentification is when age-inappropriate duties and responsibilities are given to children, either in an urgent manner or over a long duration period of time. And what I'm here to tell you today is that people that have had these types of childhoods and grew up too quickly are your managers, they're your leaders, and they're people that are high accelerators or the ones that you have to coach all the time. Parentified behavior can happen in two ways. It can be instrumental or it can be emotional. For me, I had both types of parentification as a child. When I was 13 years old, my mom said, I need to go into rehab. I said, yeah, you do. And she left the house for a month alone with my 5-year-old sister and 12 pets. I was emancipated at the age of 16, moved out between my sophomore and junior year, and then when I was 22, my mom died, and I got custody of my baby sister, who was then 16. And if you don't think that didn't impact my career, let me tell you, it shaped everything about who I was as a leader and as an employee. So a lot of times people who have had really colorful childhoods excel in a variety of ways. We're comfortable in chaos. We perform well. We bounce back quickly. But we also take on a lot of responsibility, and we can become rescuers. We're always getting up in people's business and trying to help them. And sometimes, y'all, they didn't ask us to. They were just telling us the story. I'm a terrible friend. Do not tell me your problems unless you want me to fix them. But for me, after I had a business relationship that lasted 12 years, and I ended up getting ownership into the company, I also realized some of the kryptonite that came with being a parentified child. And once I was able to identify that, I was able to heal some of those things. But parentification for me was through drug addiction and mental health issues, but sometimes it's the divorce or a lot of parental absence because of work or chronic illness or sickness. My very best friend has Alzheimer's. Her 12-year-old son is her caretaker while the father works from home. He is being parentified, supplying medication and doing those things. So it can have lots of challenging difficulties. I do have a hard time having fun and being silly. I do not play games with my children. I'm terrible at games. I have a very competitive nature. And so I've also held my own children in very high regard. I'm like, girl, but at 13, I was running a whole house by myself. You need to pull it together and do the dishes, babe. So I have to be very kind of aware of those things. So we have positive tendencies, social skills. We can mask in any environment. I'm really good at reading body language, so I'm a damn good recruiter because I can read through the stuff, because as a child, I was put in these neglectful environments, and I had to read people to determine if they were safe or if they were dangerous. But it doesn't mean we're not broken. If you've experienced some of these things, these are some of the things you can do for yourself to heal. But I want to encourage you today to see yourself, your employees, as whole people. Learn about their childhood experiences. Learn about their family relationships and how they grew up and what they went through. I'm telling you, you will connect with your staff on a way that you never have before. And you can respond to different circumstances and coach them in different ways that are really meaningful. A good boss goes in on a Monday and checks how their flock is so they can perform well during the week. But a great boss knows their origin story. They know where they came from, and they know who they are, and they're able to coach them to be their better self, to set those boundaries, to have that work-life balance, and not to allow our high-performing achievers to burn themselves out, because they will. So we want to focus on progress and not perfection, be realistic, do the small wins. Listen, y'all, we're talking about personalities, and it's not going to change overnight. You need to be a guiding force in your employee's life, to be a safe place for them to be corrected in a mature kind of way without emotional retaliation, which is probably something they've experienced a lot in their life. So caretaking and empathy, we have to watch. I always tell my husband, don't let me join leadership. When we joined our church, I was like, don't let me get in a leadership role. I need to go somewhere and be served. You can't pour from an empty cup, but people don't do things right, and I got to go fix it. So it's a work in progress, and so thank you so much. I hope that you learned something here today. Google Parentification, learn about it, and I encourage you to develop those relationships with your employees. Thank you so much.